Hey, so today, Jesse, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. I had a pho for the first time. Or pho. How do you say it? Nah, this guy's too.
Uh,
Are you there, Jesse?
I'm here.
We're live, brother.
Well, I know, but you keep cutting out. So what about your foe? How was it?
I'm still having some of it. It's pretty good. I actually like it. It's really good. I've never had it before.
Nice. I've never had it either. I just hear a lot about it. But wake up, you ain't heard the news. Fast breaks on your screen for the Fast Break Sports Hour inaugural show. So glad you could join me here on Facebook Live. We was gonna do YouTube Live, but had a little snag. We'll put that on YouTube later. Nothing's gonna hold us back. Fast Break Sports Hour inaugural show. I'm very happy, very glad that I have this special guest with me joining me, Angel from the Mile High Podcast, doing big things on YouTube. Go check out his channel. The Mile High Podcast has over 100,000 views on multiple shows, double digit K subscribers. Add to that, don't behind. How you not going about your channel before we get this thing going for the NFL 2018 pre-show? Let's do it.
Hey,
What you
man.
got?
Enough about me. They don't want to hear about me. This is about the Fast Break Sports Hour, but
Yeah.
I do want to correct you though. It's over 500,000 views. I got over 9 million minutes of view time now. Close to 12,000 followers. Thanks to the universe and
Yeah.
the Almighty Creator, and everyone that's just been wanting real stuff. I think that's the big difference right now, brother. And I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into this. And but my thing is, bro, is I think people want real shit more, or real stuff, excuse my language, more than ever.
You good?
So like being able to join you on your first episode and be a part of something that's going to explode here real soon, I'm excited, brother, man. But I want to thank you for inviting me to be your guest, and it's my honor, honestly.
Oh, heck yeah. I couldn't go anywhere else with it. That was going to be the first thing off the jump. First show. Got to be with my homie, my bro, my friend, Angel, doing big things again on YouTube. Continue to do big things and would just keep skyrocketing into the future, man, where you can't even see. Y'all can't see him. He on that John Cena status.
Stop it. But I'm
He
excited,
getting there,
man.
man. August 3rd, 2018. Again, we're going to talk about the 2018 NFL season.
Whoop, whoop.
And last night, preseason kicked off. We had the Ravens. We had the Chicago Bears Hall of Fame game. Shout out to Jeff. Saw his Bears play last night. Now, as far as who was playing on the field, you saw a little bit of RG3. And
Ooh.
then you saw this quarterback named Josh Woodrum. And he came in the second quarter, and I'm like, we
Who?
don't want to see Josh Woodrum. We are waiting for Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Jackson comes in. He threw a touchdown. He threw a pick. It's expected. He's going against third stringers. RG3 looked all right as well. He hasn't played in over a year. Did you catch any of it? Or is it just it's a Hall of Fame game? You don't really see that many actual starters out there. It's a lot of backups.
Yeah, I actually I didn't watch the game. I didn't even realize that the game happened till like maybe like an hour after it was over. But it's been one of those.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy year, and it's just everything's moving so fast right now. But I did look at the highlights. I did look at the stats. Um, Lamar Jackson threw a touchdown, right?
Sure did.
Other than that, I mean, Flacco didn't start. How did RG3 look? I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see
You know what?
like.
RG3 wasn't bad for not playing in over a year. Again, he didn't play last year. I mean, he went 7 for 11, 58 yards, threw a touchdown, threw a pick. So it was decent. Again, he's going against backups, and that's what he is as a backup. He's trying to get back into the NFL to be a backup. And if not with the Ravens, hopefully showcase his talents for another team. So he didn't look that bad. It looked kind of weird seeing him in a Ravens uniform and then just seeing him out there. But it was fun. He had the braids flowing. RG3 was in full effect.
Who looked better, him or
But
Lamar?
man, so RG3 looked decent average.
And you froze. Hold on, I
Lamar
lost
didn't
you. I
actually
lost you.
have
Hold on, I lost you there for a second.
flashes.
I
He
lost you
had a
there.
run that
Hey, listen.
which
Uh,
lose me. Lose me.
hey,
You
when
got me now? Yeah.
no, hold on. I'll tell you when you're back. Okay, you're back. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm back. So we're having a little snag again, but we're gonna do whatever it takes to keep it moving. But again, Lamar Jackson, he had flashes. He had a pretty nice run. Uh, that run probably would have went to college, but he's finding out real quick that NFL speed is totally different, totally different. But yeah, I'll give it to RG3. He was more under composure, and it's rightfully so. You know, he's been in the league longer. Lamar Jackson first game, and he said it himself. He's like, man, I didn't play good. I went 4 for 10, and I threw a
Yeah.
pick. So there's nothing about this game that I felt happy about. But I'm gonna go. Tell me what you think about Lamar Jackson.
Well, honestly, the way I see it is, I watched all the plays that he was a part of, and I mean, it was pretty basic. What it's like they're not going to show exactly what the game plan is for him, which makes me think that he's actually ending up be doing better than what they were expecting, or doing as good as they were expecting. But the way I see it is the when he was out there was pretty basic stuff. So I think Joe Flacco should be afraid, because if preseason game 3 comes here and Lamar Jackson's just kicking butt, it's going to be hard for them to stick with Joe Flacco personally. I don't think RG3 has a chance with Lamar Jackson back there, but it's a good he'd be smart, like you said, to just try to be the backup and stay in the NFL and make some money. Don't be like a doofus and throw yourself out of the NFL.
Yeah, and actually, if you didn't catch it, the best part of yesterday's game was the beginning with Ray Lewis coming out to his little dance, hyping up the crowd a little bit. He actually did it pretty nice out there in his suit. He looked pretty good out there dancing. Of course, it's the Hall of Fame tomorrow with the inductees being enshrined. We all know about T.O. talking about he's not going to be there. He's been snubbed for a couple years. But we're going to skip the Hall of Fame talk.
Cool.
And we're going to go I was going to go right into my topics, but something special happened in these last couple days. And for you Cowboy fans, we weren't going to talk much about the Cowboys because I didn't really have them on the radar. But because of Dak Prescott and his comments saying that he's going to go with the Cowboys and their statement and saying that he's going to stand for the anthem, and he's literally going to take that stance. He says, I'm going to stand. I'm the quarterback of the Cowboys. It's the national anthem. And with that being said, there was a lot of backlash on social media from rightfully so Black community. Now, whether you believe that it's rightfully so or not, my opinion, and I'm going to get to your opinion because I know you love this right now, but my opinion is, look, if you work for a company and you're a face of the company, you're going to do what the company's telling you to do. If the company tells you to wear a blue shirt, you're not going to come in with a black shirt. They're going to tell you could go get your blue shirt or go home. And this guy is the quarterback for what many would still call America's team, or one of the high-profile teams of the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones let it be known real early that my players are going to stand for the anthem. And I think that's the stance the NFL needs to take, and just say, you know what?
Yes.
Everyone needs to stand for the anthem.
Yes.
The NBA does it. The biggest issue is the Players Association and the owners cannot reach an agreement. They're like this. So that's the biggest issue there. But I think the Cowboys are doing a great thing. Jerry Jones is doing a great thing, and Dak Prescott's leading that, saying, you know what? I'm standing for the anthem, quarterback of this team. And what he's doing is important in my point of view. What say you?
We're losing you here. Hold on. Okay, we're good. You keep going. You're good.
No. So what Dak Prescott's doing is about as big as what Colin Kaepernick did. What say you?
I lost everything that you said there. Here's what I'm gonna do. If you can hear me, Jesse, we're live, but you're cutting out.
Are we having?
I don't know.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a place where you have the best Wi-Fi in the room, but here's what I'm gonna do in the house. But here's what I'm gonna do in the meantime.
I believe we are.
Yeah, because you're not you're just frozen right now. So let's play what Dak Prescott had to say.
I mean, past that is we had the whole OTAs and mini camps kind of to get over that stage, and those are guys that I've said before that you can't replace. But when you get out here, you just see the youthfulness we have, how young this team, the energy. We're just excited for what we can be. They're very hungry guys. They're guys that you may not necessarily know their names, but that's what they want. They want to get out there and make those plays, let people know that they can play and they can play at a high level. So, and it's a bunch of guys that have a lot to offer and a lot of different things to offer to the team. So when they get out there, they're getting their reps and they're trying to make each and every one of them count and take advantage of them, and it's exciting to see. That's something that, as a quarterback of this team, that you have to do. You have to be the leader, and you have to get those young guys going, the inexperienced guys going, and just let them know you've got their back, and we've just got to continue to work. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always been a leader, so I mean, it's just about finding new ways to lead, and it's going to continue to evolve each and every year that I get more experience and I get older. So it's just about finding new ways that I can lead, new ways that I can come in contact with my teammates, motivate them, or do whatever I have to do to get the best out of them. If I get to know these guys as men and as a brother rather than just the jersey number, then when you're
Okay, for some stupid reason, it says that's going to be the quote where he says, "I never." So, gosh, sorry about that. But that's Dak Prescott. That's Dak Prescott answering a question today on because they asked him about the whole standing deal, and he said, we're moving past that. So, but there's a few things that I want to touch on this, bro. And you're good now. You're clear. You're clear again. Just yeah. So. The first thing is we want to be careful here because we don't want to say that there's a backlash in the black community. The reason why I say that is because it's not backlash from the black community. It's backlash from the media who is taking the stance for the black community, which is what they do which is what they've been doing for a very long time, and especially in recent time. And it's a sad thing that the media takes the stance from a community that isn't being able to voice their opinion. But I mean, the guy says that he's going to stand for the anthem, and what's the backlash that he gets? Well, what were they saying? What was the worst things they were like? And I know, what does Stephen A. Smith have to say about that? Jesse?
I have not read into anything Stephen A. Smith does.
Okay. Did I lose you there?
Yeah, I just heard you say, what does Stephen A. Smith think about it?
Okay.
But...
yeah, I mean,
I didn't really read into this. I'm pretty sure, especially more like, I think he's going to take more to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp's going to go against the grain, and he's going to go for kneeling for those that think it's the right thing to do. He's not going to go the route of the NFL, the owners, and standing for the anthem. So again, I don't know what Stephen A. Smith said.
Okay. The reason why I bring that up is because Charlemagne the God made Dak Prescott the donkey of the day. And it's funny because I'm not surprised by that. I would not expect anything less of Charlemagne the God because that's his duty. These people are put in the media to represent the agenda that's given to them by people that pay them. So it's to me, it's the saddest thing. It's a continuous black eye on the NFL, and it's something that everyone's tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. Most Americans are tired of it, and this is the small few, the small outspoken few. Their opinions being represented here. But honestly, I'm tired of it. Everyone's tired of it. We want to see people respect our country. We want to see people respect the anthem, not because of anything other than why not? You live here. We all live here. America is what we make it. And we're blessed. I mean, go live in Afghanistan. I helped someone today at work, at my job, where he was from Afghanistan, and he was telling us how there's still suicide bombers pretty much every day. So you better, and I'm not saying that because of that. Oh, you better appreciate the negativity of American history. And just a few more seconds on this, and I'll pass over to you, Jesse. But the thing is, we have to decide whether we're going to live in the present or in the past, and I decide to choose the present. So when it comes to this whole Dak Prescott getting backlash thing, I'm like, yo, didn't you guys learn your lesson in 2017? Didn't they learn from all the boycotting that went on in the NFL, didn't they learn from everyone turning off their television? I bet you there's record numbers right now of people who don't have cable anymore. I don't have cable anymore. I'm never going to get cable again. I understand what the mainstream media is. I'm tired of them telling me how to think, what to feel, what to be angry about. I'm tired of them. I can't wait for them to disappear. And honestly, I'm going to be rooting for Dak Prescott and everyone else that's going to take a stand and be a leader and not do what corporate America is telling these people to do. And they know it. And a lot of them have been completely brainwashed, and they're in for a very rude awakening here real soon. But that's all I have to say about that. I applaud and I respect you, Dak Prescott. Everyone else in the NFL, take notes, because if I had the money, I'd buy a Dak Prescott jersey right now, and I'm a Giants fan. How about that?
That's incredible, yeah, because you being a New York Giants fan, it's tough for me to swallow, but it makes sense. That's the only reason why I brought up the subject on Dak Prescott is because, and it wasn't part of our topics, bringing up the Dak Prescott, I knew you had some very good information, a great opinion, because this is what you do. So I appreciate your opinion. I'm with you. The players need to stand for this. It's the national anthem. It's just football, man. If you want to take a stance, do it on your own time. The NFL has nothing to do with what's going on, but the world says is going on. But go do something for the community. Figure that out. Don't do it on the NFL time. Don't do it while we're watching. But other than that, I don't condone, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. You're going to see players every week. They're going to kneel. And they're all going to be picked out, or they're not going to show up. They're going to stay in the locker room. They're all going to be picked out, and it's just going to be a continuous thing. So until the NFL puts its foot down and says, this is what we're doing, this is it, but they're going back and forth. They're tiptoeing the line. Figure out what you want to do. Go with it, and let's play some football.
Let's play some football. Yeah, that was last year, right?
Talking about yeah, and talking about the Cowboys, talking about Jerry Jones making that stance. Next in line from the owner, which is Jerry Jones, is the coach. Your team takes on the personality of the coach. So you look at, it is what it is, very dry, and his team takes on that personality. Do your job, get to the next play, move on. Mike Tomlin, coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a player's coach. So you can see the players have a little bit more fun, and they have that room to kind of, be themselves and not worry about any backlash from the coach, from the owner, and just have fun with playing football and what goes along with it. The reason why I bring up the coach and how that's the –
Losing you. We're losing you.
The head and Mike.
If you can hear me, we're losing you. We're losing you. If you can hear me, we're losing you.
Now I'm
We've lost you.
To it. Out of all the coaches in the NFL,
Jesse, can you hear me?
Am I back?
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hey, man. All right, well, I'll keep going. It seems like we lost Jesse, but it looks like he was talking about some of the coaches, and we went over some of these topics.
Yes.
As I'll let you.
Field
hey,
goal.
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Just hey, you don't want to try walking around another room to see if you get a better connection?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Is it my connection?
Yeah, because no, it's only your connection, bro. It's not mine. Because the recording's still running pretty good. It's just your video, and you're getting less than 3 green bars on your connection here on Google Hangouts.
Next to the modem, I'm like right there. That's why I chose this room. It's right there. I don't know if it's, yeah.
Okay. Well,
like
we got you back.
You look great.
Yeah. No. Well, exactly. You would too, but for some reason you got static. We're gonna get you one of these crystals though.
Man, y'all gotta stop hating. Let me do these shows, man. I'm just trying to give y'all the information y'all want, man. Love it.
Nah, it's not even.
But check it out. So are we back? We good?
We're good.
What I was saying is the coach of the NFL teams. That's where it starts after the owner. They take the personality of the coach, Reason why I'm bringing up the coaches is that's always one of the big topics of 2018 and just any other season is which coach is under the most pressure to succeed, not just early on, but throughout the season.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, there's quite a few coaches that are in the hot seat, bro. Because that's the question, right? Which coaches are in the hot seat, right?
Yeah, well, check it out. So, you can look at Vance Joseph. You can see John Gruden in there. John Gruden, just because of that big contract.
John Gruden? What?
He has pressure to succeed.
Hell
he has to win.
Year one? Hot seat?
When you're the highest paid coach in the NFL, whether you're going to get fired or not doesn't mean the pressure that's going to be bestowed upon you. Then I'm talking about pressure that he has to win now. Has to. You're the highest paid coach for a reason. Gruden, you have, I want to say Marvin Lewis has been on the hot seat forever. He's never won a playoff game. Yeah. I don't know what he's still doing coaching the Cincinnati Bengals. You have Jason Garrett for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, Pete Carroll, and even the new coach, Matt Patricia, with the Lions, started off kind of iffy there with the Detroit Lions, and even Andy Reid. Andy Reid doesn't ever get the job done when it comes to the big games. Those, to me, are the coaches that are under the hot seat. I'll have my number one, but what say you?
Honestly, bro, I got a lot of coaches on the hot seat, but definitely not John Gruden. John Gruden, he signed a 10-year contract, right? I understand.
More the reason to have pressure. More the reason.
Yeah, no, and I understand what you're saying, especially with the expectations there. But Derek Carr gets injured, so Derek Carr can get injured. They can go 3-13, and he'll be perfectly safe. John Gruden, that is. But I do have his brother on the hot seat. His brother's, I don't even know how he's still coaching, but here's who I have for sure, like on the super hot seat. As you
Jay
did,
Gruden.
As you did. I got Marvin Lewis. How he's a coach. He must have some. He must have some sweetheart deal with the owner there. Jason Garrett would be on the hot seat, but he's not because Jerry Jones loves him. Vance Joseph, if he's on the hot seat, that's dumb. Like they should just fire him. They should have fired him before this season started. Because if he's already on the hot seat, then that was a waste of a hire. And if you even go that route, if he's on the hot seat, then so is Case Keenum. So that would be terrible news for the Broncos if Vance Joseph is on the hot seat. The other people that I have highlighted here, Pete Carroll, that's a sinking ship, and Todd Bowles and Dirk Koetter or Dirk Ketter, what's his name from the
Dirk
Bucks?
Cutter.
Yeah,
Dirk Koetter.
14-18 record. Jameis Winston, that's a sinking ship, and Todd Bowles, he's 20-28. I don't think they win more than 6 games this year, so he's probably going to get fired. But
does it go to the point where you say if Derek Carr gets hurt, then John Gruden is safe? I was never thinking that John Gruden was going to get fired, but does it go to the point where with Todd Bowles having a rookie quarterback, doesn't that because for him to be 20-20, that's more than what I ever thought the Jets would be after 3 seasons.
You cut out there a little bit. Say that again.
That with Todd Bowles, I think he's actually done more with less in his first 3 years. So I think he has some leeway there, especially with the younger quarterback that got drafted in Sam Darnold. Not to say he's going to start, but you have that leeway. At some point, Sam Darnold's going to come in. So do you expect the Jets to actually win 8 games, win 9 games? So I feel Todd Bowles is somewhat more on the safe side into now. Back to John Gruden. Look, man, he said it himself. With how much I'm getting paid, $10 million, I'm the highest paid coach. I'm expected to succeed, or else I'm just going to step away. And he's not going to step away. But what is success for the Oakland Raiders right now? The soon-to-be Las Vegas next year. Is this year going to be a wash? So I think there's just a lot of pressure with what's going on. Derek Carr got hurt towards the end previous to that. You with me?
We lost you there, but you're clear right now. You're good.
Yeah, so with Derek Carr, he got hurt in 2016 towards the end of the season. He didn't get to play in the playoffs the next year, which was last year. Kind of had an iffy season. A lot of dink and dunk going on. His you know, the numbers were average last year for Derek Carr. And we're going to get into Derek Carr here in a little bit. But to the coaches, my number one guy that's on a hot seat out of all the guys that I just mentioned, to me, has to be Andy Reid. The reason why it's Andy Reid is because they had something going with Alex Smith, and all they were waiting for is this year to get rid of him after Alex Smith had his best season. Okay, he had his best season. It looked like he finally got a grasp of the Andy Reid system, and they decided we're going to ship him out because we want the new guy, Patrick Mahomes. So I'm not saying they have to make the playoffs, but you're looking at a team in the Kansas City Chiefs that they look nice in the regular season. Andy Reid's always looked nice in the regular season. But once he gets to the playoffs, he just doesn't cut it. At some point, you have to figure out he's just not championship material. He's not going. His system's not going to work in the playoffs. Oh, Peterson comes from the Andy Reid system. He showed him how to do it right with the Philadelphia Eagles. So to me, it's Andy Reid. I think, especially with a rookie quarterback, if they don't go 9-7, 10-6, I think he's done. I think Andy Reid is done, and that's a high number for a rookie quarterback, basically coming into his first full season.
Sounds like you're praying for the downfall of the AFC West.
Hey. We'll check out my predictions later. We'll see what happens with the AFC West, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. I personally, Andy Reid, I don't think you fire him, even if they don't go to the playoffs, because he's just such an elite coach. And you know, they got what they were going to get out of Alex Smith. No one else is ever going to get those same numbers that Alex Smith put up for them, for the Chiefs last year. And you know, Patrick Mahomes, bro, I've seen flashes from him, enough flashes from him to be like, you know what? Enough of Alex Smith. I could do way more with Patrick Mahomes. And, you know, I think the Chiefs are in a good spot for the future, but they're not in a desperate spot where they got to win now, in my opinion. I think Andy Reid's going to be good there for a while, because who's going to replace him at this point? You see this with the Giants, when the Giants got rid of Tom Coughlin, thinking Ben McAdoo was going to be the answer. That was a bust. And, you know, moving forward, I think teams are going to start to realize, like, okay, we can let go of our guy, but we better be getting our real guy. He better be replaced by the guy. You know what I'm saying? But I think Andy Reid stays. Dark horse.
Who's your guy? Who's your guy? Who's your guy?
Oh, who
Marvin
goes?
Lewis. Who's your guy?
Oh,
yeah. Who starts off 1-4 and they're out? They're out of here.
I don't think no one's going to get fired during the first half of the season, but the guy who will end up on the hottest seat will easily be Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden has Alex Smith, right? They got Alex Smith, right?
There you go. You go.
Yeah, so
it all comes full circle.
Yeah, thank you to the Chiefs in the Broncos division for sending over Alex Smith so that we could sack the living crap out of him as a Giants fan. So yeah, I'll go with Jay Gruden. Gruden. It's Alex Smith.
Underrated quarterback. It's still underrated, man. He can move in the pocket, and he's got the.
Yeah, you froze out again, brother. You're frozen out.
Because we're gonna take out that here. It's Alex Smith.
Look, sounds like we lost Jesse again for a second. Jesse, if you can hear me, hold on, pause for a minute. It's weird. It's like once you start talking, it's like, nope, you ain't saying nothing. I'm going to block you. Try it again.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, so going to touch on Vance Joseph. You mentioned it. If he's on the hot seat, then the Dake and use that, man. But can you hear me? You good?
I'll let you know. If you hear me say pause, then that means you're paused, but you're good right now.
Okay. Yeah, so, and you brought up Case Keenum. So Vance Joseph and Case Keenum, to me, they're together at the hip. They have to succeed early because Case Keenum is only on a 2-year contract. So he has to show right out the gates that he's the quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and it's up to him for Vance Joseph to continue to be the coach of the Denver Broncos. They have to be successful early on and all the way throughout the season. So they are connected at the hip. So this is a short-term deal. They have to get it done quick. So for Bronco fans, you're either going to see it quick or you're going to see them go. Matter of fact, that's how I view it. You're right on though. If you were thinking about doing that from the beginning, why bring him back? Or why hire a guy that you thought that you can just push around? Now, reports are that he's actually getting into his groove. Vance Joseph's actually being a coach and running things as he should. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. That's a team, the Denver Broncos, that needs to start out the gates hot and continue.
You are finally in HD, my friend.
Their success. I'm in HD because that's how we do it in high definition. So done with the coaches. We gave our opinion on what we think or who we think is not too safe this year in 2018. I talked about Bill Belichick earlier. I mean, Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach ever. Now that
it's working, brother.
You wanted to say something about
No. I'm amazed.
Okay.
It's working.
Yes,
actually,
Bill Belichick,
I'm not amazed.
The greatest coach in NFL history, arguably top 3 at least. The reason why I'm mentioning him is coming to get to the Patriots. The Patriots continue to dominate the AFC. They continue to find ways to get to the Super Bowl. And last year, though they fell short to the Philadelphia Eagles, it was still an accomplishment, especially for Tom Brady, who had another great season. My question is,
wow, that is amazing.
Eagles repeat or the New England Patriots get back to the Super Bowl? What's more likely to happen? What say you?
I'll tell you this, bro. This is insane. I know we're trying to be as sports, talk about sports as we can, but this is incredible because, hold on, listen. I put the crystal down for 1 second and you started losing connection again. I brought it back up and you're back in HD. I know this is your show and this is sports, but I want everyone to know right now that I want to wish everyone watching this nothing but love and light and prosperity. And anyone sending any malintent through this screen right now gets clapped back immediately. So be careful which energy you're projecting because you will automatically suffer the karma and ramifications of putting anything negative towards me or my brother during this broadcast. Am I understood? With that said, this is an amazing inaugural show, and I'm glad we got Terrell Davis to join us.
TD, Hall of Fame weekend.
Hall of Fame weekend. So the question was this again, brother? Tell me again.
So what's more likely to happen? The Philadelphia Eagles repeating. We got Carson Wentz coming back, and he was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. Is it more likely that the Eagles come back with all full force and repeat, or is it more likely that the Patriots get back to the Super Bowl even though they lost Amendola? They lost Deion Lewis. They lost Nate Solder. They didn't play Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl, so he's headed to Tennessee.
Yes,
and
sir.
With the suspension of Julian Edelman for PEDs, now I know why he was on an ESPN body issue, because he was doing that stuff, and now he got caught. Talking about, I don't know what was on the label. Dude, there's a phone number you can call that the NFL players have that can tell you if something's illegal or not. Do your research and quit lying.
Yeah, Peyton Manning, or Julian Edelman. Just kidding, brother. But I'll tell you this, brother, man. Honestly, you know how I feel about teams repeating. I don't think it's possible. Not right. I mean, it can always happen again, right? It can always happen again. There's always a first time for everything, and I know that's happened before, but it hasn't happened in a while. So right. I'm going to go with the easier answer, which is the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's either the
Yeah, and so just because for me, it's the Eagles have too many questions. Can Carson Wentz return to his form, which is pretty good form, but it's not top 3 yet. And but he's getting the respect like he's top 3 quarterback in my opinion. But his injury, we'll see how that goes. I hope it goes well. Yeah. No, honestly, because he's a young kid. He's a young kid. I mean that, and I would love to see him. You know how hard that had to be for him to see, like, his girlfriend get pimped out by the backup. Like, his girlfriend won. Like, the backup came in, took his girlfriend, bought her a nice ring. But they all share the ring now. So it'd be nice to see how this goes.
Y'all live together. Yeah, live together with that marriage going on.
It'd be nice to see how it goes the full season without him being injured. But I have to say that repeating is so hard these days. I don't see it happening for the Eagles, and I say that respectfully because they do have a really good team and a good coach.
Yeah, so I mean, you got the Patriots getting back. That's not a tough one, even though they lost everything. But we've seen it with the Patriots. They lose players every year. They just put in some new soldiers. They lost Nate Solder, but they bring in new soldiers, and then they just put them and say, you know what, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're expected to do. Don't worry about that side. Don't worry about this side. Worry about you, and that's it. And I think you could do that in life. But the Patriots got it right. They're always going to be a favorite, and we're going to get to our predictions at the end of the show when it comes to who makes the playoffs, who is going to be the Final Four, and your Super Bowl prediction. But we're going to talk about that at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We were talking about Carson Wentz. We were talking about injuries. I'm going to get to, and we're talking about Tom Brady, and that he's the quarterback that's going to be in this topic, the main quarterback in this next topic, that I believe warrants discussion. So out of these elite quarterbacks, and I think all of these guys at some point or another were elite or could be elite. Out of the list that I'm going to provide to you, which is most likely to fall off this year and forever. So here's the list.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you the list.
Let's hear
Tom
it.
Brady. I mentioned him before. Tom Brady,
How
41 years old. He's on the list. He's elite quarterback and he's 41. Phillip Rivers, another elite quarterback, on the list, never been to a Super Bowl, 36 years old.
Good night.
Eli Manning, 37 years old. He does have 2 rings. The team had a terrible season last year. Will they regroup? We also got Drew Brees. 39 years old. Not much injury hit. Chargers had a shoulder issue. Ever since then, he's been great with New Orleans Saints. 39. Ben Roethlisberger, who he's good for missing a game or two every season. Ben Roethlisberger, 36 years old. He's got 2 rings. And last but not least, and some might say why he's on this list, but because to me, he was on that upward tick. And I'm talking about Andrew Luck, the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, who was on that upward tick, but injuries the last couple years have derailed whatever momentum he had created. Never been to a Super Bowl. Again, he's missed more games than any of these quarterbacks. And he's missed more games than Roethlisberger, who's missed 22 in his career. So just in 5 seasons, Andrew Luck's missed 25 games. So that's the reason why he's on this list. Not so much of age. He's 28. He'll be 29 after the first week of the season. But I put him on the list because of injuries. So out of this list, you have to pick one. Which one of these 6 quarterbacks is going to fall off this year and forever?
Okay. You want me to shoot first?
Bring it. It's because, hey, you going to go first? I went first last time. You go first now.
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I think you brought up a good list. So on your list, we got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Eli Manning, Big Ben, Drew Brees, and Andrew Luck, correct?
No Aaron Rodgers. I got Phillip Rivers.
Okay. Well, my bad.
I don't have Aaron Rodgers on here.
I wrote down Rodgers instead of Rivers. My bad. So we got Brady, Rivers, Eli, Big Ben, Brees, and Luck.
I mean, you can throw Rodgers in there, but he's in that middle group still. He's been injured a little bit, but you know what? Let's throw him in there. Throw Aaron Rodgers in there. I don't think this is going to be the fall off year, but
no, I don't either. I don't think that's. I wrote that down wrong, but yeah, my bad. I don't see why Tom Brady's on there. To be honest, to me, it's continuously being disrespected by everyone just because of his age. When he looks younger now than what he did when he was a rookie, and he eats and he has a perfect diet. And whatever is the most illegally, like the most illegally legal, like the closest illegal, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever's like on the borderline of illegal. Yeah,
he's like right there. He's
he's getting like the best of the best of the best, right?
It's not cheating unless you get caught.
Yes. Why does my hat look like that? Anyway, this is like fucking a friggin' fisherman hat right here.
It's all good, man.
But
nice, rich broke. Yeah.
Yeah. I would give shout out to the guy who made this, but he doesn't deserve it. Anyway, so honestly, who's gonna fall off? This is really easy for me, brother, man. and it's not going to be who you think, but it's easily Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers. Yeah, Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
The reason why I say this is going to be interesting towards the end of the show. Just watch. It's going to come full circle. All right, Phillip Rivers. Tell me why.
All right, I'm going to tell you why now. Listen. So I say Phillip Rivers because he's just had such a long career with like ownership and management just ruining his team year after year after year after year. And you know what? If I'm him, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go enjoy the year, but I'm not going to care that much. Plus, there's no push for them to go to the Super Bowl or try to win one. So to me, that he's easily the one that's going to fall off, but it's not his fault. That's why Eli didn't want to go to the Chargers. It's a terrible organization. Phillip Rivers would probably have 2 rings had he ended up with any other team, to be honest, at this point. So yeah, my answer is Phillip Rivers, but I have to say, it'd be him or Big Ben, because Big Ben is turning into like big crybaby. So, but Big Ben is second. Brady doesn't deserve to be on this list, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my take, brother, man. What do you think?
Hey, great. I love your opinion. There's a reason why he's on the list. I wouldn't have put him on the list if I didn't think there was a possibility of this player falling off. Obviously, none of these players, can fall off because to me they're all great. But if I had to choose one, and I'm going to choose one, and I'm going to choose the youngest, and it's Andrew Luck because it's a shoulder injury and it has nothing to do with his play on the field, but just the injury to that shoulder. And I'm hoping that everything comes out great because he was going to be that next guy to take the torch and be one of those next elite quarterbacks. And we're actually going to talk about this next wave of quarterbacks and who's going to be elite here on one of the next topics. But Andrew Luck, I hope this doesn't happen. But if I have to go off of this year and going to fall off, it's just based on his injury, the lifespan that he's played, the 5 years that he's played. Basically, he's missed maybe I would say close to 2 seasons, a season and a half, because you got 25 games. So you look at 16 and then half a season 8. And it's been at the end the most recent years of his career. So I think that's the biggest hurdle. His play on the field has always been great. But I think because of how he plays, because he's so physical, and because his team, he doesn't have an offensive line, they drafted Nelson. That's going to help out this year. And everything's a go. They're saying he's throwing or whatnot. But once those, and not to bring up anything negative, but once those bullets are real, that's when you actually get to see if he's going to be ready to withstand a hit. And I'm hoping it is. But if I had to pick one of these guys, I think they're all – I think they're all going to have great seasons. I think Andrew Luck, to me, is the most just because of the injuries. Though that's one thing you can't control. And again, I hope I'm incorrect, but I'm going to have to choose Andrew Luck. That's just too many games missed. Important part of your body if you're a quarterback.
I feel so bad.
One of the smartest quarterbacks, and I'm hoping he's comeback player of the year.
I feel so bad.
That's what I hope.
Because he's such a great guy, he embodies the perfect American spirit. He's not conceited. He's not arrogant. He's a leader. He acts like a professional on and off the field, and he's just had such bad luck with his injuries. Bad luck. Sorry, that's a stupid joke, but I there's no one I would rather see.
No pun intended.
There's no one I'd rather see come back just rocking fire than Andrew Luck.
Yeah, hey, bring it all, young man. Let's get these elite quarterbacks. Let them be up there with Aaron Rodgers. Let them meet in the Super Bowl. That would be great for everybody to see as fans. Not for you because you got Eli Manning.
I can't stand Aaron Rodgers.
3 more years there, but
yeah, I hate seeing Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
Oh man. So we were talking about Andrew Luck getting into that next level, into that elite, and being one of those younger quarterbacks. And I'm going to bring up a little bit quarterbacks slightly younger. The top quarterbacks that were drafted in 2014 and 2015. Now, it's a list of 5 quarterbacks. And I believe this is the next wave of who's going to be elite and who's actually already hit their cap. So what I'm bringing to the table, you have Derek Carr, who was drafted in 2014. He's that next wave. You have Blake Bortles, 2014. He got to the AFC Championship last year. He's had a couple of decent seasons. And Jimmy Garoppolo, also drafted in 2014, who's actually undefeated as a starting quarterback, believe it or not. That's another guy that's part of the new wave. And then two guys that were drafted in 2015 with Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston, who a lot would say last year they kind of slipped off the radar a little bit, even though Mariota got to the playoffs. And then Jameis Winston with his issues leading into the season, just issues that have been ongoing throughout his career. Immature young man that hasn't grown up yet. But this is that next wave of who's actually going to take that torch and become one of the top 5 quarterbacks here in the next year or so. To me, if I look at these 5 quarterbacks, it's so easy for me, and I know there isn't that much there isn't a lot of evidence.
Difference or proof.
No. Okay, so let's get. Yeah, there's not enough proof. There's not enough evidence. In Jimmy Garoppolo, I've seen how he is just a leader of men and how he just looks the part. How he, man, when I say look the part, I'm not talking about his looks. I'm just talking about
I feel you.
He looks like the leading quarterback. Like he looks like he's out there ready to go take a team down the field and win a football game. And Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, is out of these 5 the most likely to become the next elite quarterback here in the next year or so. When I say elite, I'm talking about top 5, top 6 quarterback that you can say for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. He's 7-0 as a starter. Yeah, 2 of those wins were with the Patriots. He's 5-0 with the Niners. Come on, he 5-0 with the 49ers. I don't care who he played, but you threw him in there, 5-0 with the 49ers. The reason why I like him as well is, though he hasn't played as many games, his completion percentage is way better than the other 4 quarterbacks. The other 4 quarterbacks, completion percentage-wise, have all stayed about the same. They're in low 60s or in the high 50s. That's not good. You look at Garoppolo, 67.4, and he's an accurate quarterback. He's a leader, and he learned from Tom Brady. I mean, come on, Jimmy Garoppolo. I was very disappointed with Marcus Mariota's play last year. He was coming up strong. In 2016, he had thrown 26 touchdowns and only 9 picks. And last year, when they're actually a playoff team, he only throws 13 touchdowns but 15 picks, and he gets sacked over 25 times every year. So I think part of that is this. I think for Mariota and Jameis Winston especially, this is the make or break year for both of them, because they had better years the year previously, and last year, though the Titans made the playoffs, but because of their defense and their run game, Mariota took a big step back. And Derek Carr, to me, is the wild card. He's a wild card. Blake Bortles is what he is. I think he's going to be that quarterback that just chills. He's going to do a little, what he has to do. He's never going to be great. He's never going to be.
He lives in Florida.
Exactly. And it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, if he can keep that team at 500, he's good to go.
If they can win 10 games even, but yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to jump in. I'm over here doing some serious energy work on you, brother.
Do it.
Purging that shit.
All that good stuff. I want the 12.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is, bro? I think it's just that your energy is so up, and like in a positive way and not in a negative way, that your electronics are not able to handle your frequency. So right now, I have this crystal in my left hand, and I've just been standing here with this other crystal rock in my right hand, just like that, and I'm just projecting it at you. But I also want it to be known that I have these other rocks right here that are just like there simply to balance the energy out. So what are you going to buy after tonight?
I'm going to go look for some rocks.
Yeah, you might. That's why I sent you that crystal rock with Brian, because I made sure to fuse it with the power of the sun and good intention and positivity. So next time, probably bring that with you. But yeah, man. So what's the subject at hand right now? Is which one out of those quarterbacks is going to have the best year?
Well, not just the best year, but who do you see jumping into the elite group sooner rather than later out of those 5? And basically, who has to perform this year, or else they're just going to be replaced?
Cool. So my take on this, I actually put a lot of thought into this because I thought it was actually a really good question and a really good conversation as well. And I got to admire, dude, the topics you came up with are pretty elite. No pun intended. But out of these quarterbacks, the answer's easy for me because I go straight to my heart. The first word that comes out of my heart is Garoppolo. Garoppolo.
Yeah, hey.
Garoppolo.
Jimmy G, man.
Yeah, so I got to go with Jimmy G because everything that you said, man, he's just been rock. Who goes to the Niners like he did and wins? What was his record? 7-0.
With the Niners, he was 5-0. He's 7-0 lifetime.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been waiting, and he's like, I think he's poised for a great year, man. And so I'd put him at the elite above all these other guys, even Derek Carr and Mariota. Now, Jameis Winston, I think he's got to switch states. He's got to go to another team in another state. His time in Tampa Bay is over. I mean, do we got to even speak on the scandal when the Uber driver files a complaint for you touching her, harassing her, and you actually get caught somehow and it's proven? You know, what about all the other times that it wasn't proven or it wasn't able to be proven? Like, I don't see nothing good out of Jameis Winston. I mean, I'm tired. Honestly, how talented he is and how much, like, privilege he has, I'm tired of him. I don't want to see him again because, yeah, exactly. I was like, hold on, bro.
We're going to eat a dub. We're going to eat a dub.
Yeah.
That tastes good, right? That's weird,
and
man.
for those who don't know, just YouTube Jameis Winston, and that video will come up. Just type in Jameis Winston. But I mean, the guy
he's gonna eat the dub
and the crab legs too.
Yeah,
you know, I'm tired of it, bro. It's like you're a grown man. You're privileged. You're making more money than most people in the world combined. Like, do something about it. So yeah, he don't get
Doesn't get it.
Blake Bortles is kind of like the, you know, just go with the wave kind of guy. Glad to be here, but he can also he has some Eli Manning in him where sometimes he just, you know, gets lit. Mariota, I think he's figured out as a quarterback. Derek Carr, I don't know about Derek Carr. It depends how honestly, him and John Gruden, their future depends on each other. If they're a team to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with as a pair, Derek Carr and John Gruden, then they're gonna do some things for the next 10 years. But if not, they're both gonna end up going that way.
Yeah. Man, I totally agree. Like, hey, we agree Garoppolo is the number one here. And the ones I got to watch out are Winston and Mariota. I think those are the two that have to watch out this year. Derek Carr is like in the middle. He's had great seasons. But is he over the shock of when he broke his leg? Is he still thinking about that when he's dropping back to pass? Little things like that. And also, Amari Cooper's got to help a guy out. Amari Cooper had a horrible season. He led everybody in drops. He was supposed to be that next guy, that next top 5 receiver, and he did nothing last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. So he has to get his game back. So I blame his average season to Amari Cooper's lack of decency as a wide receiver in the NFL after all that he did the year prior to that. So Amari Cooper got to step his game up. They got Jordy Nelson. So there's no excuses there when it comes to the weapons they have.
Playmakers.
And yeah, they got Marshawn Lynch, and they might get something out of Doug Martin, the gerbil, but we'll see. I doubt it. But
did you have him in fantasy last year, bro?
Doug Martin?
Yeah.
Heck no.
Okay. Did you the year before? He's such a bad.
The year before I did.
Oh, okay.
The year before I had him, and he sucked. Like,
yeah. Isn't he such a drain?
And then when I let him go, he'll have like 2 marvelous games.
Yeah, I couldn't
it's like, I want to get him again. Oh, my goodness, man. But, all right, so let's get to this next.
Well, who do you got? Who do you got?
Yeah, I got Garoppolo. I said I got
who's
Garoppolo.
the worst?
It's Winston and Mariota. It's going to be one of those two. Two guys that were drafted in 2015.
Tell me what you think about Mariota again, brother, if you don't mind. I'm just curious because I know you like him.
I love Mariota.
Yeah.
To me, I saw after what he did his first and second years. I mean, he's 20-22 as a starter in the NFL. He's about 500. And if you look at all these guys' records, besides Garoppolo's, his is better than everybody else's when it comes to win percentage. He got his team to the playoffs last year. They beat the Chiefs. He looked good in the playoffs. So maybe that's some momentum swing for this year. I think Mariota goes as Derrick Henry and the weapons around him. Again, he didn't have receivers. He had a young receiver in Corey Davis who, watch out this year. Corey Davis for fantasy football. I'm giving y'all something. Corey Davis is going to be a monster this year. And I think Mariota has a chance to get back up to what he did in 2016, where he's going to throw 25 TDs. Am I there?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. My bad.
where he's going to throw around 25 TDs, maybe throw 10, 11 picks. He's going to rush for another 7 or 8 touchdowns. So Mariota is going to be that, top 12 type quarterback to get in fantasy football. But it's make or break for him and Jameis Winston. And I think Jameis Winston, at the end of the day, he's done. I think he doesn't change. So, again, with the Buccaneers, it's a bad organization. They're going to continue to lose. He's going to continue to do dumb things because that's the only type of notoriety he's ever gotten in the NFL, is doing things that you teach your kids at 8 years old that they shouldn't be doing. And
he's a rich man's Jamarcus Russell. He's a rich. You know what I'm saying? Which is not saying much.
He's better than Jamarcus Russell ever was, but they're doing about this
the same. Yeah,
you think that he has the heart to? He needs to take care of his issues off the field and just worry about football.
He's got to grow up, man. You're not a kid anymore.
That's what it is. So, I mean, I think the best thing that could happen to him is that's another subject. But we're sticking to this. We're sticking to the quarterbacks. It's a quarterback-heavy show because guess what? The NFL is about quarterbacks. That's why we watch the NFL, is because of these quarterbacks. Some of you will say, well, we watch for defense. You're lying. I love watching defense, but I want my quarterback to throw for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and light it up.
Kurt Warner!
I want to see. Kurt Warner. The reason why I'm saying that is, we talked about Alex Smith earlier. We talked about Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins. I bring them up because they're in this group of 4 quarterbacks. I didn't want to throw Tyrod Taylor in there because he's not going to do anything with the Browns too much. But these 4 quarterbacks that were starting quarterbacks last year switched teams. Which of the 4 can you see having the most success? I have Case Keenum going from Minnesota to Denver, Kirk Cousins from Washington to Minnesota, Alex Smith getting dealt from Kansas City to Washington, and Sam Bradford getting hurt for the Vikings and then get moved over to the Arizona Cardinals, with Josh Rosen sitting in the back waiting for Sam Bradford to fall apart. Which of the 4 is set up for success this year?
Easy answer, in my opinion. Case Keenum. And I'm not saying that because I'm a homer here in Denver, but I'm going to tell you how it is. Case Keenum because of the defense. So all Case Keenum has to do is what he had to do last year. And all he has to do is protect the ball, play smart, and make a play here and there. Make a 3rd down conversion here, make a 4th down conversion, score in the red zone. But he's got the pieces around him. The only thing that could mess us up is if Case Keenum is like the biggest flop in Bronco history, or if Vance Joseph just does some stupid stuff, or if the Broncos staff, anyone involved with the Broncos staff, listens to anything that D-Mac has to say, because D-Mac is a moron. So if they take any influence from him, then that's when the Broncos will be looking at some trouble. But I got to say Case Keenum because, number one, you drafted Bradley Chubb, which is unfair. And
defense. We were talking about defense.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins, he's going to go back to that same Kirk Cousins that I used to make fun of like 2 or 3 years ago because he would just throw like 3 or 4 picks against the Giants and get sacked. Because he's going to have a new offense, new team. Yeah, and the Vikings players are going to be like, wait a minute, why did we give up Case Keenum for this guy? And then they're going to be like very disappointed, and that the Vikings messed up big time by letting go of Case Keenum and bringing him Kirk Cousins. And Alex Smith, I'll tell you why the other guys, I don't pick them. Alex Smith, he went to the Redskins, so no, it's just not going to happen. And Sam Bradford's going to look like Kurt Warner until week 2 when he's hurt. And
yes.
So yeah, that's my take, brother. Congratulations.
It seems like we're right on point. I didn't want to seem like a homer, but when I look at Case Keenum, he had the same talent Sam Bradford did the year prior. So Sam Bradford in 2016 had the same talent, the same receivers. Now, he didn't have Dalvin Cook, but remember, Dalvin Cook was out since week 5. So Case Keenum had Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray. So Sam Bradford had the same talent, Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and Kyle Rudolph. Same offensive line. The defense has always been there. And Sam Bradford went 7-8. Went 7-8 with the same team in 2016. So Case Keenum with the same team goes 11-3. Now the stats look about the same. What he's done the last 2 or 3 years, He's a very accurate passer, and he's very safe. Sam Bradford that year threw 20 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, but he didn't get the wins under his belt. Where Case Keenum, he was able to provide the stats with 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and come up clutch in some of the quarters. Everyone says it's lucky, but you got to be able to make the throw. The players got to be there, and made one of the greatest plays in playoff history when they beat the New Orleans Saints. Am I still with you?
You are. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I'm taking all that shit in, bro. Excuse my language. Sorry.
So, no, you're good. So, even when you look at these 4 quarterbacks and just their records as a whole, yeah, Alex Smith is above 500, but he's one of the older quarterbacks on the way down. And I think he already hit his top level last year with Kansas City. He was in the perfect offense and weapons galore. That's what we didn't talk about. All the weapons Alex Smith had and the reason why he finally got it right. He's going to go to Washington. Who's he going to throw to? Who is he going to hand the ball off to? He don't got Kareem Hunt. He don't got Travis Kelce. He's got Jordan Reed, but Jordan Reed's always hurt. But no receivers. So Alex Smith's going to take a step back. He's on the downward spiral towards the end of his career. And Case Keenum, he's only been in the league for 5 years. And he hasn't played that much. He's 20-18 as a starter. He's got 46 touchdowns, 27 picks. And completion percentage could be a little bit better. But he's an accurate 62%.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, for 38 games, it's not bad at all.
Nah, that's better than Eli.
He's a very accurate passer. In the middle of the field is what you want. When you can hit the tight ends down the middle of the field, anything from 12 to 25 yards, he's very accurate. And that's a big thing. You look at the quarterbacks Denver had last year, that was the issue. There was no accuracy beyond 12 yards. And you're right on. I think the weapons the Denver Broncos have are very underrated. With Emmanuel Sanders coming back from injury, Demaryius Thomas feeling 100%, and with Cortland Sutton and Deshaun, remember those names. Cortland Sutton, the receiver, man, he might be rookie of the year. Cortland Sutton is going to be a bad, receiver for the Denver Broncos. He's going to take over. He's going to be the number 1 next year. I guarantee you that. And they drafted Royce Freeman.
Go ahead.
And that defense. So all you have to do is just keep moving the chains. Don't do anything crazy. And here's one thing that it's probably, we don't want to talk about special teams, but them picking up Marquette King and being able to punt in altitude, that's going to help the offense say, you know what, we don't have to go for it on 4th and 3. We could punt. This dude is going to punt it 70 yards down the field, put them inside the red zone, and have them come back. Do them dances going to be real now? Do them little, the Bucky Bronco dance for Marquette King. So I think, but you know what? Here's the wild card.
Uh-oh. Give him
Sam
the wild
Bradford.
card.
Sam Bradford.
El Indio.
If Sam Bradford figures out a way to super glue himself and not fall apart, man, he can do a lot of good things and even send the Arizona Cardinals to the playoffs if he stays healthy throughout the season. That's how much I believe in Sam Bradford. But Kirk Cousins is up and down. You're right. Kirk Cousins is going to have 3 great games throughout the season. He's going to have about 6 to 7 average games, and he's going to have 4, 5 stinkers where it's like, what the heck? And I still think they make the playoffs, and we're going to get to that, but it's not going to be because of him, because they were already a playoff team. They were 13-3 last year. But we're going to get to that in a little bit. So we agree, Case Keenum is the man.
Can I throw on some sprinkles real quick?
4th. Sprinkle it on me, baby.
Real quick, because I wanted to, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to throw this in on Case Keenum before you moved on from him. But how many times, brother man, let me give me myself on the screen here. How many times, brother man, have we watched a game and a team's down by 1 score? It's 4th down and something.
Ooh.
And what does the quarterback do?
Man, doesn't know what to do. He throws a pick.
He gets sacked. He gets sacked.
That's the Broncos, man.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So and you get your cell phone and you throw it at your television because you're like, all you had to do was throw it up. And Case Keenum finally proved to all these dumb quarterbacks that, guess what? Just make the throw and see what happens. Maybe something will happen. Put the ball in Odell Beckham's hand.
They got that was Eli. That was you reaching out to Eli. Like throw it up there. You got the elites of the elites.
Yeah.
Out there playing receiver. These athletes are going to go up and get it. And man, Case Keenum is he's going to take his chances. But that dude's. I think the most important part of Case Keenum's game is he's a leader and he demands respect and he demands the players to listen to him and they're going to follow him because that's what's been missing with Denver. I mean, last year with Trevor Siemian. You couldn't hear him. He was like a little mouse. You couldn't hear him talk at all. Brock Osweiler didn't know the playbook.
Aren't you
didn't
glad,
know what
bro?
was going on. And we still got Paxton Lynch, but hopefully Paxton Lynch could just sit back and learn a little bit. Stop playing Xbox. Stop playing these video games because he thinks he's going to learn the playbook by playing Madden because he thinks Madden is tough. And if I play Madden and I score touchdowns on Madden, it will be easier.
How
Case
excited
Keenum's
are
a
you?
leader. I'm excited.
You're finally away from that horrible quarterback depth chart
Threesome.
that you had.
Yeah, they say threesomes are great, but this threesome sucks. This threesome was horrible. Delete that. Delete. But Case Keenum, hey man, we're not going to lose games because of Case Keenum. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, man, I like him a lot, and he has experience, man. You can't underestimate the experience of playing in postseason games, bro. There's nothing like it.
At all.
Yeah, I agree. So who's your 4? Alex Smith?
Yeah, that's my 4th. Alex Smith, just because of the age.
Ain't nothing.
And, he doesn't have anything around him. See, Kirk Cousins has
playing.
a lot of stuff around him. And then, they're going to lose games because of Kirk Cousins. That's going to be the opposite, because he's going to want to take chances when he doesn't need to take those chances. That's Kirk Cousins. That's just in his DNA. He's always done that.
Failure. I can't wait to see that fail.
But guaranteed contract, hey, he took a stance and he got that going for the NFL players. Talking about contracts, we're going to go to this next duo. And when I say duo, to me, they're the top 2 running backs when it comes to being able to do everything. And I'm speaking about Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley. Those 2 running backs, whether it's in the run game or in the pass game, now I know your guy is going to be coming up, but we're talking about guys that have done it already. And the reason why I bring those 2 up is because Le'Veon Bell has been wanting his contract. Okay, so he's franchise tagged again. He's going to get 14.5 this year. He actually said no to a 5-year, $70 million deal. But what they left out was it was only $33 million guaranteed paid out in the first 2 years. So that's why he said no.
Why do they do running backs dirty, bro?
Because
when did that start?
Once they hit 29 or 30, they want to recycle them, put them in the bin, let them go. But Todd Gurley did running backs a solid, got the 4-year, $60 million contract, 3 years guaranteed, 45 guaranteed. Are we good? We still good?
Oh, you're gravy, bro. Yeah, there's no problems
cool.
no more. Yeah, you're good. You're good
awesome.
to go.
Awesome. So the reason why I bring him up is Le'Veon Bell obviously is going to hit free agency next year. He feels he deserves at least a 3 or 4 year contract with 3 years guaranteed. You look at their careers, Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley. Bell's been in 5 years, Gurley's been in 3. But to me, they bring the same kind of production. Who brings more production and who's more valuable to their team?
Man, that's a good question, brother, because you take both of them away from their team and their team suddenly is not even a playoff contender. Well, maybe the Steelers because they got Big Ben and AB and just a good core. But
right.
I have to say Todd Gurley is more valuable to his team, which does not mean that I think he's going to have a better fantasy football season than Le'Veon Bell. No, I want to. Yeah, no, because we always have to differentiate those two because you can say that someone's going to have a successful year, but someone else can have a better fantasy year and a less successful year. So I think Le'Veon Bell gets. Wait, is he's holding out right now? Then, right?
Well, he's not going to be in training camp, but he's going to show up once the season starts. He's going to have to. Or else
what about preseason?
Nah.
Okay, so that answers my question. You know how I feel about running backs that hold out. Todd Gurley is going to be way more valuable, and Le'Veon Bell, I wouldn't even touch him in fantasy.
He did the same thing last year.
Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell did the same exact thing last year. So with that being said, you're right because what's going to happen is he's not going to play in the preseason. He's not going to be in training camp. So when it comes to fantasy football, you're not going to be able to trust him the first 2 weeks of the season because those are going to be fill-out weeks. Those are going to be throwaway weeks for Le'Veon Bell.
Which sucks.
But and I'm saying this, you're also right because Todd Gurley is more important to the Rams' success than Le'Veon Bell is, because you can take Le'Veon Bell off the Pittsburgh Steelers because of that offense and just because of that organization and how they get things done, and they're still going to be who they are. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell might add a win or two because of his play on the field, but when you look at Todd Gurley, you take him away from the Rams, oh man, that team goes
Who else
4
do
to
they have?
7-9 easy, easy. You know, I think the coaches would actually got everything out of Jared Goff. And they added a lot of pieces, especially defensively, with the Ndamukong Suh, with
Oh, is that right?
Talib.
They got.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to the Rams.
Yeah, they got Sue, they got Talib, and they got
Aaron,
man, why am I
Aaron Curry, Aaron Donald.
No, yeah,
Aaron Curry.
Aaron Donald, yeah, Aaron Donald.
Didn't I do that previously? Didn't I do that on another podcast?
Aaron Curry is like Oakland Raiders, some
Bust.
weird stuff, but
yeah,
Aaron Donald. So that defense is going to be there. They also got Marcus Peters from the Chiefs. You know, man, that defense is going to be stout.
That's fire, yeah.
But I mean, that offense is still, you know, they still got. Oh man, what? Robert Woods, their receiver, and to me, he was one of the better receivers. I think Sammy Watkins going to Kansas City, they're not really going to lose much there because he just wasn't built for that offense. Jared Goff, and then they got Brandon Cooks, so that offense is still going to be potent.
Who's their tight end?
Oh man,
it's not Cooper Kupp.
No, that's their third receiver. That's their possession receiver. Cooper Kupp is the possession receiver.
Such a cool name.
I know, right? Yeah. But he's a possession receiver. You got Brandon Cooks, you got Robert Woods, Todd Gurley, obviously out the backfield, and Todd Gurley's gonna if he's not ever on that field, that offense isn't gonna go the way it should because he's just elusive. Now he had that sophomore slump. He didn't play too good the second year, but again, they didn't have all the weapons around. It was basically him by himself. Actually, Case Keenum played like the first 6 games that season. And went 3-2 with the Rams, and that's actually a good thing that he went 3-2 with that team. And then Jared Goff came in his rookie year and then sucked it up. He went like 1-8. But Todd Gurley came back with this team, and he's been great. But if you look at just their production and what they average, I mean, touches per game, they both average around 23, 24 touches a game since they've been in the league, and that's saying a lot. Le'Veon Bell, he's been in a little bit more trouble. He's missed more games because of that. He's missed games because of injury, to where Todd Gurley in 3 years, he's only missed 4 games. So there's that to it too. You don't have the issues. Le'Veon Bell, anything slips up, you know, he's hitting that, you know what, then he's going to be gone for the season. That's another issue there. That greenery.
That he
that stuff right there that Miss Elliott,
that Rocky Mountain High.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
So are those your 1 and 2?
When it comes to the most production, yes. When it comes to but listen, I'm only talking about guys that are that have played already, because obviously we could talk about the Saquon Barkleys. We could talk about David Johnson coming back.
That's what I was
and maybe having a
David Johnson.
Season. Yeah, he was hurt last year, so I didn't put him in his group yet. You know, he's got to come back, show me something. Saquon Barkley got to show me something, and David Johnson. You got to show me something, bro.
Oh man,
I have
Google his quads.
High hopes for this guy. I got high hopes for this guy, but
have you seen his quads?
Todd Gurley, yeah,
he's got Ahmed Johnson quads.
He hurts my feelings, man. I want a little bit of that DNA.
He's got He's got Titus O'Neil quads.
Man, he's got He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's a reason why he was drafted number 2, but we both agree Todd Gurley, a little bit more important to the Rams, not necessarily more impactful when it comes to fantasy. I think they're going to be about the same when you look at fantasy. I don't think you can go wrong either or. If you have to choose one or the other, you can't go wrong personally. That's just how I feel.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, with all that being said, we're going to get to the fun stuff. those are the main topics that I wanted to bring up coming to the season. We're going to get to the fun stuff, and I hope you're ready because we are about to predict our playoff teams in the AFC and the NFC. I'm talking about all 6 and 6. You're going to give me the teams that got the byes and who wins the division. So I need you to be ready for that. And after we give our playoff predictions, we're going to go to who's going to be in the championship games, who's going to win the Super Bowl.
I got it all.
And who's going to be the MVP this year and who's going to be Rookie of the Year.
I got it all.
So with all that being said, give me your 6 NFC teams in division by who's winning the divisions.
You got it, brother. This was really fun for me to do because you know more than anyone like how like deep I've been into like research and just trying to get everything that I do launched and just running the way I've always wanted it to. So, dude, it's August 3rd. The Hall of Fame game was yesterday, and I'm just like, like in 4 weeks there's gonna be football, and I'm like, I got to be ready. And I'm glad you invited me to do this, brother. So again, I want to thank you from the center of my heart, brother, for letting me join you and share this fun time because I needed a break, man. I really needed a break from the serious movement that I appreciate and I love being a part of, and I can't wait to hit them up with some new stuff tomorrow.
And again, let me reiterate it. For me, it's an honor for you to be on my first show. Again, this is the Fast Break Sports Hour inaugural show, the NFL style, bringing y'all into the NFL season. And now we're going to get right to the predictions. Who's making the playoffs in the NFC, man? Give me that list.
Well, in the NFC, this was fun because obviously I'm a New York Giants football fan. And for me, so what I did, bro, is I did the 6 seeds just because I didn't want to be that guy, because we've seen this happen, and it's so embarrassing for these professionals. I didn't want to be that guy that ended up putting, like, the number 1 seed versus the number, just against a seed that they're not going to be able to play against. So
right.
What I did was I picked the division winners, and then I seeded them all. I didn't do their records, but we'll just go right into it. So
you good?
Yeah, number 1. This is exciting. Don't you love being excited, bro?
Who's the number 1 seed in the NFC?
All right, so the number 1 seed in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. Can you believe that? I lost you there. Come back. Oh, I lost you there for a second. Yeah, that blew you away so much that we lost connection.
Yes.
For those who didn't hear it, I said the San Francisco 49ers. And the reason why I said that is because their division, bro, I think they're going to be ahead of everyone in the division. I think they have a plan, and they got a lot of momentum going in. And they're going to be one of those sneaky teams that goes 13-3, maybe even 14-2. Just my hunch. Oh. Yeah, so number 2.
Crap.
So that's all I have at the 1 seed. So they're going to get the first round bye, okay? 49ers. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
Realness.
Yeah.
Man.
Are we done?
That's crazy.
Just kidding.
Man, let's go to number 2.
Number two. The New
Other
York
guy.
Football Giants with Eli Manning and Odell reach back and catch it Beckham. Woo. Yeah, I got the.
You going out on limbs.
Yeah.
You putting teams that are on the bottom and you putting them right to the top, man. I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, man, but I like it.
Yeah, well, I looked into my crystal ball, and I'm just telling you what I saw. But I got the Giants and the 49ers just like it was way back in the day when they were the head honchos as the 1 and 2 seed, and then I got the 3 and 4 seeds. Oh, TD, what up? I got the 3 and 4 seeds as the NFC South is going to be taken by the New Orleans Saints. I put a lot of thought into the NFC South. That's probably the hardest one. Yeah, that and the NFC East. And then in the NFC North, that's easy. The Packers. But they're going to be the only team that makes it from the NFC North. And so for the 5th and 6th seed, the wild card teams. Seed number 5, the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. I can see that. Definitely. That was a team I was fighting with.
Yes, and the 6th seed. Are you ready?
Don't do me wrong.
Super Bowl defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles, 6th seed.
Thank you.
There you go. So
I
got Giants. I got Niners, Giants, Saints, Packers, Falcons, Eagles.
All right, cool. So you know what? Let's keep it like that. So obviously you're going to have the 3 seed go against the 6 seed, right?
Yes.
All right. So your
Sorry.
3 seed was the Saints, correct?
Saints and Eagles, yes.
So you got Saints and Eagles, and you got Packers and
Falcons,
Falcons.
yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep
Alrighty.
going, or how do you want to do this? However you want to do it, brother. I'm ready.
Yeah, who wins those games, because then we'll
We'll
pick the
do Final
four
Four.
later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the first game we have the Eagles, the 6th seed versus the Saints. Eagles beat the
Yes.
Saints.
Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, in the dome. So we
dome.
got the Eagles.
We'll be going to San Francisco if
Yes.
they win that game.
Yes, you got it 100%. And then I have the Packers beating the Falcons. A great shootout. Very reminiscent of the Cardinals and Packers of when that overtime game. Yeah, remember that? Remember that awesome game? That's going to be that. So the last 2 games that I have going on is the Giants versus Green Bay and the Eagles versus the Niners. Giants and Niners are the top seeds, the buys. I have the New York Giants beating the Green Bay Packers.
Okay. At home, nice.
Yes, the Giants winning.
This is something different for the Giants.
They've turned the tide.
Usually a wild card team. They are now a bye team, and they get that home game. So
yeah,
by all means, Eli Manning.
Yeah, I look like I'm tired, bro. I don't know. I don't like the way I look right now, but I'm tired. But yeah, so I got the Giants beating the Packers. And so, and then I got the Philadelphia Eagles, the 6th seed versus the 1 seed, and the 6th seed beats the 1 seed.
Hey, I see that because you got experience going against the first timers, but the Niners are going to beat you. I feel you. So we have, break it down, who's going to be in the NFC Championship game?
It's going to be amazing, bro. It's the Battle of the East, the Giants versus the Eagles. Winner takes all. After this, crazy. Every team has to retire. This is it. No more football.
Crazy.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So we got that set up in the NFC Championship game. Let's go to the AFC. Give me 1 through 6.
In the AFC, sorry, I went blank there because I was thinking about the AC being turned off. It's on all day, but it's not on right now when I want it. But let's see here. Man, it gets real hot in here all of a sudden with all the.
I feel you.
Yeah, plus we're bringing that fire. Okay.
Fire.
So I'll go through this real quick. I won't take that long. This is exciting, like I said. But you know what, guys? If you're watching this, you should be excited too, my friend.
Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good time. I appreciate you guys joining me and Angel on the show, inaugural Faz Brayke Sports Hour. Thank you for joining us. You will have so much fun. It's going to be later on YouTube, so y'all can check it out. But it won't be later. If you're watching it now, it'll be now. If that makes
Stop
sense.
it. No, stop it. Okay, so the 1st seed, I got the Patriots. And
Nice.
The 2nd seed, are you ready for this one?
Man, this is going to knock my socks off. I feel it.
The Houston Texans.
Oh, man, we on the same boat, man.
Okay, cool.
We there. I see you.
Awesome. So,
Deshaun Watson.
3rd seed, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. Man, true to form.
And then in the AFC West, I got the Denver Broncos.
Hey!
Slim, barely snuck in there.
Hey,
just kidding. No,
too,
they'll probably go 11-5 or something like that. But I don't think the AFC West is as strong as it's been portrayed to be. And so for the wild card teams, for the you're gonna like this, bro. You're gonna like this a lot. For the first wild card team, the 5th seed, I'm going with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Clotes. Oh, Clotes. Oh, we got the Clotes. The Clotes.
The Clotes are back with Andrew Luck. Yeah.
No, I got the Colts coming back. I got Andrew Luck having a strong season and an MVP type season because he deserves it, man, and he probably wants it more than anyone. So I have faith that this is going to be his comeback year. He's going to win the MIP. And then the 6th seed, John Gruden in the Oakland Raiders.
Man.
Yep. 9-7 or 10-6. They got in. And y'all better be careful because once they're in, they're like ready, bro. So yeah.
So you have the Raiders going against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yes, you got it.
And you have the Denver Broncos going against the
Andrew Luck.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I already see how that plays out. All right, so who wins Pittsburgh Steelers, Oakland Raiders opening wild card weekend?
Bro, they should have never let John Gruden in, bro. John Gruden upsets the Pittsburgh Steelers and retires Big Ben in the process, and probably gets Mike Tomlin fired too in the process. They want to start over. Yeah, explosive year.
Oh my god.
And then in the other game we have the Broncos and Colts. I got the Broncos beating the Colts. You know, Andrew Luck, great job coming back. That's probably going to be an awesome game to watch. But the Broncos will be at home, so that'll help them win. And their defense will just prove to be too much for Andrew Luck at Mile High Stadium. And so we'll have the final. Oh wait,
and you got the Raiders going to the Patriots.
Yes, so I have the Patriots and Raiders. How amazing would that be? Yeah.
You see John Gruden going back to the Patriots.
Yes.
And then not only that, you have Case Keenum going back to Houston, where it all started. You got that going on too, man. That's perfect synchronicity. Going back to Houston. Van Joseph going back to Houston.
Yes. Anything else, my friend? Do you want to know who wins?
No, I want to know who wins both of those games. Who's in the AFC Championship game?
Okay, well, the New England Patriots are losing to the Oakland Raiders until the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter when Derek Carr fumbles.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But they think it's an interception, but it's actually a fumble. So it's actually a reversal of what happened at the beginning of this whole thing. And the Patriots end up getting the ball, and they end up scoring, and they end up winning. And John Gruden's pissed at the end of the game at the ref because they messed up and somehow. And he's just
see that picture.
Yeah, Chucky, Chucky face. And so the Patriots advance, and they go on to meet the Houston Texans.
No,
sorry, brother. I got to give it to Deshaun Watson and the Texans.
It's and all good, man.
Broncos making it to getting one win in the playoffs and putting up a good fight against the Texans team that is a little bit more established. In some aspects. I know it just depends, but I think the Texans are fully become not America's team, but the team representing Texas.
Oh.
Yes, so that is my final four. I got the Giants and Eagles on the left side. I got the Patriots and Texans on the right side.
All right. Let me get the Super Bowl matchup. Who was winning these AFC, NFC championship games? We have the Giants and Eagles on one side going to be played at MetLife Stadium. And then you have the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans at Gillette. The Hoodie, Tom Brady, and Deshaun Watson, who's in the Super Bowl.
Well, this wasn't hard at all. This is actually really easy. This is actually like, come on, guys, we're watching a movie, right? Let's make this a movie. What's better than making a part 2 of a movie? Making part 3. What's better than part 2 of a movie? A trilogy. So what better trilogy than to have the good old boy Eli Manning versus the good old boy Tom Brady. One more time. One more match. One more match. Tom Brady, Eli Manning, one more time. Final score, Giants 73, Patriots 70. Eli hits a 3-pointer at the end to win the game. How you like me now?
Man, he's got range.
Yeah,
I thought
bro.
I thought he was just a free throw shooter. I thought he was just hitting the free throws, but man, well, the Super Bowl matchup does not shock me. I kind of feel like you're the Chris Berman of podcasts when it comes to picking the Super Bowls. Chris Berman always picking the same teams. You got the Giants and the Patriots. I would like to see it. I don't think it's going to happen, but they're both in the playoffs to let you get into my picks for this year. So I like your picks. I was shocked with the 49ers. It was very entertaining. I was more shocked with Raiders. Shows you where we're at. But we're not far off. So I'm going to start off with the NFC. In the NFC, my number one seed, I did the same thing you did. I did 1 through 6. NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles will be the number one seed in the NFC. Carson Wentz is going to keep things going. And Nick Foles has the experience in case anything happens. But I don't see anything happen. I got Carson Wentz. I got the Eagles, the number 1 seed. They'll be 11-5 as the number 1 seed. That's how bunched up the NFC is going to be. 11-5 gets you the 1 seed. 11-5. My number 2 seed is going to come out the North. And I got Aaron Rodgers, a healthy Aaron Rodgers, putting the Green Bay Packers, giving them that bye, the number 2 seed. They're going to have that home game at Lambeau Field. Hey, we'll see what happens. My number 3 seed, we were talking about earlier, we were talking about Todd Gurley. I got the LA Rams winning that division in the NFC West. I see them with that momentum. That coach is just fire, like you mentioned earlier. Man, this show is fire. The Rams are fire. Wade Phillips is going to have that defense going crazy. They're going to be 11-5 as well. So those 3 teams are all going to be 11-5. But tiebreakers, Eagles are going to be the number 1 seed. Number 4 seed. And this, we was talking about the NFC South is just ridiculously hard to pick. And at the end of the day, I had to do the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints will win the NFC South at 10-6. It's going to be bunched up. But I got Drew Brees getting back there, Alvin Kamara and the boys, Mark Ingram, Michael Thomas. I'm going to stop saying all these fantasy football legends. But
hey, are we going to get into fantasy? Sorry to interrupt, but are we getting into a little bit of fantasy or not?
Not today.
You don't want to give away secrets, huh, you little jerk?
No, we're going to do a fantasy show, but not today. Not today. No, we just threw out little nuggets. That would be good enough. But the number 1 wild card is the New York Football Giants. I got them going 10-6 because the NFC is going to be bunched up. Hey, they're only 1 game away from the number 1 seed. But I got the New York Giants, number 5 seed. They'll be going to New Orleans and playing Drew Brees that wild card weekend. You know how that goes. That's going to be 100 points being scored. And, we were somewhat in synchronicity here. I see the San Francisco 49ers getting that second wild card at 10-6. Look, number 1 seed was 11-5. Number 6 seed is 10-6. That's how close this NFC is going to be. So I have the San Francisco 49ers going to Los Angeles and playing the Rams. Division foe. That's going to be great to see. California rivalry. Let me tell you who wins and why. So in that LA-San Francisco matchup, I got Jimmy Garoppolo going down there and doing things, and he's going to beat Jimmy G is going to beat the Rams. 6 seed, taking down a 3 seed, and Jimmy G is going to be going to Philly. Jimmy G is going to be going to Philly for that divisional round. It's going to be a great game. I think you had the same type of matchup, right? Except for it was the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
So good. And with the New York Giants going to New Orleans, I think Eli Manning on the road in the playoffs is a different monster. And this is going to be a shootout. But I think at the end of the day, when you put Odell Beckham, Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley, Eli Manning with his playoff prestigiousness, if that's a word. He's got playoff prestigiousness.
I like it.
They will beat the Saints in that game, and it's going to be 42-37 in that game, and you're going to have the Giants go to Lambeau Field. All right?
I hate those.
They always play them there. That's just the way it goes. I got the Giants going to Lambeau Field. I got the Niners going to the Link. And in that game, unfortunately, I got the Philadelphia Eagles taking down Jimmy Garoppolo. Nice run for the kid, doing a great job, becoming one of those elite quarterbacks. Carson Wentz is going to outdo Jimmy G. Philadelphia Eagles get to the NFC Championship game. Who are they going to play? I know the Giants are good on the road, but I think this is where the truck stops. They go to Lambeau Field. It's going to be frigid, but I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have his A game. I think it's going Don't be putting no black screen on me right now or putting no face on me.
I think I lost you there, bro. Sorry, man.
I hope that was a joke. But I got the Green Bay Packers taking down the New York Giants, who have an awesome season compared to what they did last year. They will take down the New York Giants. I got the Packers winning that one 31-21. A little bit too much Aaron Rodgers. And I got the Green Bay Packers going against the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link for your NFC Championship game. So let's go over to the AFC. So again, Packers, Aaron Rodgers versus Carson Wentz at the Link. NFC Championship game. Let's go to the AFC. But I like that we like the Niners in the playoffs either way. You like them a little bit more than I do. They're the best team in the NFL. How you put them regular season wise. So that's great. I love that. There's no beating around the bush. There's no fence here.
I'm not afraid.
I like it. I was. You see how everybody was 11-5 or 10-6? I just like they're all just.
No, but that's a good prediction though, because that doesn't happen too often. And we're about to. I'm gonna interrupt you, dude, real quick. Sorry,
yeah, you're good.
But it's important to know that there's a big change going on, and whether people recognize it or not, the fact is we are entering a new age of not only media, like mainstream media, but sports media too. And everyone's going to witness, people taking the easiest answers on ESPN, on NFL Network, on Fox Sports 1. They're going to take the easiest answers. They're gonna do what their corporate bosses tell them to do. And I think people are tired of that, man. And I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm glad to be a part of something, especially the first show that represents the new guard. This is the new guard. The people don't want fake shit no more. They want real stuff.
Think freely.
Yes.
Think freely.
And
Quit
think
following.
for yourself.
Be leaders. Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Make your own predictions.
Yeah, and those guys always go with the safe bet. So that's why I admire this, and I'm glad we're doing this because we're going off of our guts, not off of the mainstream gut. So yeah.
And you guys posting in the comments, feel free. Let me see your predictions. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to say, you know what, you was right. I'm going to say you was way off. I'm going to look at all that stuff. So let's get to the AFC. Number 1 seed. We hit it on the same note. New England Patriots are going to be the number 1 seed. They're going to be 12-4. They just keep getting it done. That's what they do. 12-4 is a pretty good season for the AFC for a team that lost a lot of weapons. But when you got Tom Brady and you got the best coach in the NFL, that seems to keep happening. Best quarterback in the NFL, I have to agree, though I cringe when I say it, but it's just a fact. My number 2 seed. Now, I'm going with what everyone would think is the norm. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers a number 2 seed. I got them at 11-5 as a number 2 seed. Just too much Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell. That offense is potent. I'm kind of curious to see what the defense does because their defense was a downfall last year. Their defense was atrocious. If you remember that Jacksonville Jaguars game, they made the Jacksonville Jaguars look like the most potent offense I ever seen in my life. They kept scoring. Boom. Oh, shoot. 14-0. Oh, 21-0. Oh, 21-7. 28. Yeah, the Jaguars were just – last year was a Jaguars year, but they just –
It was a weird playoffs, though, wasn't it? Wasn't that a weird playoff?
Yeah.
All the games were just so weird, and then the Saints, Vikings – but keep going, sorry.
Yeah, no, everything was just on point. It was incredible. And you remember where you're at when you watch these games. That's why the NFL is so great, because you remember where you're at when you watch a lot of these games. NFL's on point. NFL is the greatest thing running besides me and you. But that's another thing. So Patriots number 1, Steelers number 2. Those are the bye seat, the weeks. The winner of the AFC South and the 3rd seed is the Houston Texans. That's my 3rd seed. I think we had Pittsburgh and Houston flip-flop there. So I got Texans, my number 3 seed. They're going to go 11-5. My number 4 seed. This is going to be, I think, somewhat a shocker to people. The Los Angeles Chargers are going to be the 4th seed, and Phillip Rivers is going to be the 4th seed.
Oh, they're Los Angeles. That's right.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Chargers. That's why when you were saying he's a goner, and they don't.
Shut up to Max Root.
They're going to do it. What up, man? I can't see the messages, but yeah, shout out to everybody watching. I love you, man. Max, you awesome. But check it out. And hey, I hope my homie John L watching, man. Lopeman, man.
What up, Lopeman?
Yeah, you know how we do it, man. You just have some soldiers, plus all the family and friends that are watching, man. I love y'all too, but I can't see who's watching. So, number 4 seed, LA Chargers. They're gonna win the AFC West. That's me showing you I'm being unbiased. Until we get to the 5th seed, the Denver Broncos are the first wild card team. They're actually gonna have the same record as the Chargers. The Chargers are gonna win in tiebreakers. They're both gonna be 10-6. So I have the Chargers win the division. The Broncos are our first wild card. So you're going to have Denver go to Los Angeles for that wild card weekend. That's the first game. And in my 6th seed, I believe in Mariota. If he goes back to his old ways, I think Derrick Henry established as a running back. I like the defense. Again, Corey Davis, I see big things from him. Don't draft him. That's my dude. I got the Tennessee Titans as the second wild card in the 6th seed. and I got the Tennessee Titans going to Houston. So you have the division foes going at it on Wild Card Weekend. Denver to Los Angeles, Tennessee to Houston. It's going to be great.
What seed is Denver?
They're the 5th seed.
I want to say here tonight, there's only 4 words. This one's for John.
Yeah!
Hey,
that should be your ringtone, man.
Man.
I'm calling it. Uh-oh.
How about the voice? This one's for Pat. But so let's get to Wild Card Weekend. I have the Houston Texans taking down Mariota. Deshaun Watson going to be a little bit too much for Mariota. They're 2 elusive quarterbacks, but Deshaun Watson's on that MVP watch. He's on the MVP watch. But Deshaun Watson takes down the Tennessee Titans. So that means Houston will be going to Pittsburgh in the divisional round. Now I have Denver going to the Chargers. Phillip Rivers is just going to do a number on the Denver Broncos that game. I think they're going to be this is his year to actually get it done. The LA Chargers beating the Denver Broncos Wild Card Weekend. Phillip Rivers is going to have a big game. It's going to be too much to handle. Denver's going to have – it's a good season Denver had. They lost in the wild card to the LA Chargers. I hope Denver gets to the Super Bowl. I'm just being real with you. I'm a Denver Bronco fan, but I got the Chargers. I got Phillip Rivers in 2018 winning in the wild card around the Denver Broncos. Yeah, but I'm just keeping it real. I hope the Broncos win it all, but I'm just
hey, don't. You're second guessing yourself already, bro.
No, I'm not second guessing. That's like if this happens and the Chargers play the Broncos, it's like me saying, I hope the Chargers win. Hell no, I want the Broncos to win, but I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, obviously.
So that means Houston's going to Pittsburgh. The Chargers are going to New England. Houston and Pittsburgh. Houston takes out Pittsburgh. Deshaun Watson takes out Pittsburgh because that defense is not going to be able to stop that quarterback. They're not going to be able to stop him and DeAndre Hopkins. And Texans' defense is one of the elites. That with J.J. Watt, man, they're going to do a number on the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I got the Texans going to the AFC Championship game. I have the Chargers going to New England, Gillette Stadium. Tom Brady versus Phillip Rivers. I have the Los Angeles Chargers beating the New England Patriots in that divisional round. And I have Phillip Rivers getting to the AFC Championship game, going to Houston for that AFC Championship game. So we had one of the AFC teams right, just like we had one of the NFC teams right, but we have different opponents. So now we have the Chargers going to Houston, and we have the Packers going to Philly. So let's start in the NFC. I think this is where Aaron Rodgers' road ends. I think Philadelphia just has too much. I don't like the Packers' defense too much. I had the Philadelphia Eagles getting back to the Super Bowl. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. NFC East champions, number 1 seed, will get back to the Super Bowl. And that might be like a pick everybody does, but I'm just telling you what it is. AFC style, man, Chargers at Texans, nobody has that.
Hold on.
Nobody.
Yes, can we pause there? Because that's pretty big, dude. That's I admire that. So you got the I put San Diego again, but you got the Los Angeles Chargers.
It's hard.
It's so stupid of the NFL to be doing this, but you got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. Honestly, bro, I would love to see Phillip Rivers shoot it out with Deshaun Watson in the AFC Championship game.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. And the two defenses are good as well. You have to look at Joey Bosa and Ingram, the edge rush, man.
Yeah.
And then they got a Darwin James, a rookie safety they drafted from Florida State. I have the Los Angeles Chargers beating the Houston Texans and Phillip Rivers getting to the Super Bowl for the first time in his career. You're going to see the Los Angeles Chargers go to the Super Bowl against Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. You have the LA Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles, a Super Bowl that we might hate because we hate both of these teams if that were to happen. You probably rooting for the Chargers.
I'll stop watching.
I'll probably be rooting for the Chargers because we're Phillip Rivers.
No, he can't win one, bro. He's not allowed to win a ring.
Well, here's where that.
Can I ask you how the Chargers make it there or why?
because I think they have one of the most eliteness quarterbacks. And they have a decent running back in Melvin Gordon. They got good receivers, underrated receivers in Keenan Allen. And Mike Williams is going to be off the chain this year. He wasn't off the chain last year. He was a rookie, but
Who
this
else
year
do
he's
they
going to be
have?
better.
Who else do they have that's good? Don't they have another wide receiver?
Tyrell Williams.
Or Eanman or some shit? Or shoot. Stop cursing,
Yeah.
Eanman. Sorry.
Antonio Gates coming back because Hunter Henry got hurt, but they got Virgil Green. But that's, to me, it's mostly defense and Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, it doesn't matter who he has. Phillip Rivers he's just like throwing rockets.
So I have Rivers. I have Rivers down for the count after this year, and you have.
And I got him in the Super Bowl, potentially winning his first Super Bowl Lombardi. And who's going to be raising the trophy? Super Bowl 53. I have the Philadelphia Eagles repeating, beating the Los Angeles Chargers. Man, in a great game. Eagles too much. I got the Philadelphia Eagles beating the Los Angeles Chargers 33-24. Sorry, Phillip Rivers, but at least you got there. And that'll be the last time he'll ever be at a Super Bowl. But he got to taste it a little bit.
You know what, bro? That's love right there. Because for you to go there against your division rival, the guy who used to torch you guys back before you had Peyton Manning, for you to say, you know what? He suffered so much. I think this is his year. That's love. That's kind of what happens. You learn to love your enemy almost. And
he's going to torch. He's going to have such a great year that he's going to be the MVP this year. I'm jumping right into it. Phillip Rivers is going to be the MVP of the NFL this year.
You're all in, Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. You better draft him if you want a badass quarterback. He's going to have the stats.
I can't believe you're all in on Phillip Rivers. I'm not that it's a bad thing. I'm just shocked. But I'm not in a way where it's like I can't believe he's that dumb. No, it's just I never saw. That's like straight out of left field for me.
It's Stabby.
Is the Terrell Davis?
Pissed.
Yeah,
he's mad.
That's not even TD no more. It's just like SD.
LA? You mean?
Yeah. Well, either
and
way.
then, so I gave you my MVP. I'm going to give you my Rookie of the Year. You're going to like this one. Saquon Barkley. I think he's going to do everything. In the receiving game, I see him getting about 50 receptions, 500 yards, 3 touchdowns receiving. But rushing, he's going to have 1,200 yards rushing. He's going to have about 8 touchdowns. So about 12 total touchdowns and 1,600 total yards of offense and a playoff appearance. So Saquon Barkley gets my Rookie of the Year. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, I didn't put it on there, but I'm just going to throw out Bradley Chubb as Defensive Rookie of the Year. But go for it. Who's your MVP and who's your Rookie of the Year?
Okay, for my MVP, Andrew Luck got close.
Ooh.
But it was easily, like, just looking at the numbers, and when I saw the numbers myself, I was like, yeah, I gotta stick with this guy as the MVP because I can see the future. But
I know who you're going towards.
Deshaun Watson, he's gonna be the MVP. He might. I don't know if he's gonna break records, but he's
gonna be one of them crazy seasons.
Yeah, he's better than Cam Newton easily, in my opinion.
Oh I think so.
Like he's easily going to be the best mobile quarterback we've seen in a while, and we've seen some pretty good ones. Go ahead.
He's gonna have a Cam Newton type season when Cam Newton won the MVP.
Yes.
See, I have Deshaun Watson coming in second to Phillip Rivers. So yeah, I see a lot of high things from Deshaun Watson. But continue, man.
Yeah.
Get on your Deshaun Watson MVP for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, and then Rookie of the Year, that's easy. Saquon Barkley. Well, that's one thing I definitely want to talk about right now real quick since we're on the subject. But, I don't understand how, like the biggest issue with the Giants has been their offensive line. You know, their offense and defensive line, and just those two when those two units are not part of their powerhouse as a team, then they struggle. And their offensive line has been horrendous for the past couple of years, maybe even the past 3 years. But they did everything they could in the draft and in the offseason and in free agency to make sure that that's one of the best units in the league. So I'm excited because we have Eli Manning going to have some time. We have Odell Beckham, like, healthier and better than ever. Evan Ingram, possibly the best youngest tight end out there. Sterling Shepard, possibly the best. Like, the offense is just like fireworks, bro. And it's going to be so excited for me to watch. And I'll finish this point and I'll let you go because I'll forget.
No, you're good.
But I'm going to be honest, I can't wait to just sit back on Sundays like this, bro, and watch Saquon Barkley do work, bro. I'm gonna be sitting there eating my popcorn, drinking my Coors Light, and just I might even
Oh
just not even
man.
drink beer. I might just bring some tea and just bring my little teacup and just
Ooh, nice and warm. Nice.
do
A
it,
little one.
Saquon. So yeah,
Do it.
seeing
Crumpets.
so to put an exclamation point on this, Eli Manning is finally going to have a running back for the first time since Tiki Barber, which was like the first 2 or 3 years of his career, and he's finally going to have a running game that's going to be opening up the passing lanes for Odell Beckham. I wanted to make Odell Beckham the MVP, but I don't think they're going to give it to a wide receiver. But his numbers are going to be like Randy Moss / Jerry Rice type S this season, especially fantasy wise. So that doesn't make sense the way I put that. But let me put it this way. Odell Beckham will have one of the best explosive fantasy football seasons in wide receiver history, easily. And I have him on my team. That's all I got to say.
Hey, well,
Yeah, so
that's
that
easy
rookie
for
of the
you
year,
to say,
Saquon
man.
Barkley, I think he's going to have, I think he might be the best running back, dude. I think he's going to be
Okay. Hey,
his
throw him in
body.
there. Throw
Yeah,
him in
trust
there.
me, I don't want to put this out there, especially before the fantasy football draft. But I think Saquon Barkley is easily like, I'll take him and David Johnson over Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley personally. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that,
Yeah.
brother, man. Go
Yeah.
Giants.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have our predictions. We talked about some of the main topics going into the 2018 season. Again, I appreciate you joining me, Angel, on the inaugural the Fast Break Sports Hour. Follow him. Go to YouTube, the Mile High Podcast. Man, working magic over there. I'm gonna try to work some of that magic over here. We're gonna put this over on YouTube. Again, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Uh, Man, much love and respect to everybody who watched. 2018 is a wonderful year. I treat every day like it's the last when it comes to just being grateful. Every day is the best day of my life. NFL coming our way, and it's going to make things so much better. It's going to make those days where you're just like, man, oh, wait, football's coming up, make everything that much better. Let's all be happy. Hopefully, your team does good this year. I hope mine does. Denver Broncos, 2018 all the way. Predictions aside, that's my team. Let's go for it. And keep it here. Subscribe to my channel, the Fast Break Sports Hour. Once this is up on that channel, you guys can subscribe and like. Check it out. I'm going to have more things going on more consistently. And I'm back. Again, thank you, Angel, for joining me. Any parting words as we disconnect this little love machine?
Yeah, no, I just want to I just want to echo what you said, man. Like for people wondering that this was not supposed to be on my Facebook page, but we had some connection issues on YouTube, and then they made Jesse wait 24 hours before he could live stream. So we just decided to do this on here, and then he'd share it on his page. But yeah, I don't want to speak for you, but I just got to say, like if you're on Facebook and you got to see this and you want more of this, go to his YouTube because that's where he's gonna be focusing everything that he's doing. And honestly, guys, we all need a break from Facebook. Honestly, break free from the Matrix, guys.
Yeah.
And all I'm hoping for this NFL season is that the mainstream media doesn't try to ruin it like they ruined it last year. Last year didn't count. So I don't know what the Giants. I don't know. They probably had a good year. I don't know, but it doesn't count either way. But yeah, man, that's all I have to say. Anyone that's seeing this and that's a part of my following, if you want sports without agenda-based opinions and outlooks and just analysis, please follow Fast Break. Go to. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep doing stuff with him in the future whenever we have time to work with each other. And you know. Why go to ESPN, guys? You've already done it. We're tired of it. Stay away from ESPN. Stay away from anything that's on the mainstream. Start believing in our fellow people, guys. We are one, and where we go one, we go all. Shout out to everyone from YouTube, Twitter, and I just want to thank you, Jesse, for letting me be a part of this, brother, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much again. And there you have it. You done got the news. Fast Break Sports Hour. I thought you knew. We out. Love y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Okay.